And I've also realized that members have taken time to correct some names. But this is just a humble reminder to my friends on the majority bench. I can count 61 absentees from your side. This is just the first day. This is just the first day. So I'm
Honorable Minority Leader, relevance.
Yes, very
relevance.
Just day one.
Relevance.
Mr. Speaker, yes. Mr. Speaker,
relevance.
yes, Mr. Speaker, I agree. Mr. Speaker, allow me. Mr. Speaker, the role of the opposition is to scrutinize and to bring to attention certain key matters that are of concern. I am saying that this is just the first day, and this side is your back. It's not ours. All over, you have 61 absentees, just day one. 61 absentees from the majority, day one, 61. You have 61 appointees. I'm just bringing to attention, so you encourage your members to come. We are full. Mr. Speaker, look at our back. Mr. Speaker, look behind me. This is a strong minority. Look behind me. We are solid. You have 61. Look at all the seats empty. Here, all these places are for you. All over. Mr. Speaker, I'm helping them. That is all. I'm helping them.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I thought the former majority leader that has been reduced to a minority leader will be talking about whether there's a quorum to do business. You know, proudly, I want to tell him, even with the so-called 61 that he claims are absent, we have enough members to do business and quite frankly, to beat you if we want to. So, I can tell you that we are so fortified that we can afford to have 61 members having a meeting outside and continue to do business in this house. That is how solid we are.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I don't know which spirit is worrying the minority leader. But Mr. Speaker, for your information, 28 MPs from the Greater Accra are in a meeting now. We've just said that they should come. But Mr. Speaker, the minority leader should know that when you were doing the recall, he was even not here. So he's just trying to he is trying to behave like the Honorable K.T. Hammond. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if care is not taken, this house, somebody will come and fill a form that his wife called him man love. Then that will be added to his name. Somebody's wife will call him man king. Then that will be his title. Then it becomes something like that. So, Mr. Speaker, we have official titles which are recognized officially. And Mr. Speaker, it is for this very reason that even the word honorable became a subject for ruling in our law court. So, if the honorable minority leader can explain, the Speaker, simply because this is a house, this is an august house. If you are giving warrior titles to honorable members, the Speaker, is that the precedent we should set? If the honorable minority that can explain the meaning of that title, because the literal meaning of Osahiri means a warrior, a war leader. So, is he going to turn this micro minority into a war group. Mr. Speaker, I don't think we should go further with this.
Honorable members, may we have some calm. The minority leader is on his feet. Let's listen to him. Well, they rose up in support of him.
Yes.
So let's listen to him.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, with respect, I shall, in response to what you just said about your duty to protect the micro minority. Mr. Speaker, the rules of this House provide for the minority and the majority. Mr. Speaker, we do not have any micro minority. Mr. Speaker, the minority caucus hereby protests. Mr. Speaker, we protest the description given to us by Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this practice of when we are on our feet, the majority will on the mic, it's not acceptable. Mr. Speaker, it's not acceptable. We are Democrats. You put off my mic. Listen to me. Mr. Speaker, we find this unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, the minority seconded your proposal and the motion for your election. Mr. Speaker, when the so-called majority was even conspiring against you, we protested. We stopped them from that conspiracy. Mr. Speaker, it was us, the minority of conscience. This minority is the conscience of this House. Today, the so-called majority could not get its members to come to the House. 61 of you are absent. Mr. Speaker, we don't accept the description micro minority. We are minority. Simplicity. Mr. Speaker, please, kindly, Mr. Speaker, describe us as such. We are the minority. We are not micro minority. I so submit.
Honorable members, this is not subject to debate. Please, this is not subject to debate. Please.
Sit down.
Please. This is not subject to debate. The minority leader, on behalf of the minority caucus, has objected to my describing their caucus as micro-minority caucus, and that this is a term that is unknown to the rules of the House.
Just few, Mr. Speaker, just few weeks ago, my good friend was protesting heavily for being referred to as minority leader. But you were not. But today are you? Mr. Speaker, and order says that, and I read, a member shall not use offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous, or unbecoming words on a member or any other person, or B, impugn improper motives.
Please.
Other person. Mr. Speaker, my colleague suggested that the majority was conspiring against you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have it on record when the minority leader at political functions was describing you in words that can never be used on this floor, and said, Mr. Speaker, that the greatest injustice to Parliament was to elect you as Mr. Speaker. You said that on political platform. Today, a 10-quote minority leader is now pretending he loves you more than the people who actually you belong to. We can tell you this. We can tell you this. We can tell you this. Mr. Speaker, I live, Mr. Speaker, and I know you've got the tapes and the videos. But what I will say is that for the fact that he described us as conspiring against you, he must actually withdraw that part of the statement now and apologize to us.
And apologize.
And Mr. Speaker, hold on, Mr. Speaker, he described us as the so-called majority. Look at you this way and look at this. Is this a so-called majority? Do you describe this as a so-called majority? This is a proper majority. And this is, Mr. Speaker, the size of this, let me repeat, the size of this looks like my district assembly. The size of this looks like the size of my district assembly. Do you like that one? Mr. Speaker, he must necessarily withdraw. This side did not and will never conspire to do anything against you. If the last person, the last group of people who undermine you, Mr. Speaker, will not be this side. If the other people who do it, we can guarantee you will get our support today, you will get our support tomorrow, because you are doing the right thing. So he must withdraw.
Speaker, I am grateful that you recognize me. Just to share a few words. Speaker, Kwame, so Kwame, are you telling me to sit down? Can you tell me to sit down? Joke. Speaker, you can't tell me to sit down. In this house, the rules that we use. You can't tell me to sit down. Get the attention of the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for recognizing me. First of all, the order my colleague quoted, and if you read further, order 1, 2, 3, if you read further, subclause 3, the inherent condition is stated there. It will lie in the mouth of the Speaker to determine if indeed those words were used. I hope you recognize that. Then again, going beyond that, Speaker, going beyond that, I am 4th term in this House. Would you listen to me? Would you listen? Speaker, would you listen to me? Speaker, 4th term in this House. This is the first time. This is the first time, and I'm saying this in context. If you pay attention, you get the context in which I'm speaking to. This is the first time President-elect has to issue a statement, more or less whipping you to nominate the president, to nominate Speaker for the position of speakership. Why? And that's very revealing. It was because there were things happening at your backyard, and the president-elect picked the due intelligence. That is why he had to come out with that statement. This has never happened. So for the leader to say that all was not well at your back, the evidence is all over. And in fact, it took the minority, it took the support and the consent of the minority for us to elect the Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if there is on both sides, Speaker, on both sides, if there is any side that you should be careful, it's the majority. You should be very careful of the majority. They were the people who were planning for you not to be elected. So please, don't miss the point.
Thank you.
Don't miss the point. It took our blessings for the speaker to be elected. So stop boasting. It took our blessings. Speaker, back to the point. So order 1, 2, 3 should be quoted in whole. My good friend Honorable Abuja should quote order 1, 2, 3 in whole. Order 1, 2, 3 sub-clause 3 is clear. And we don't need to belabor the point. We don't need to mess it up. Speaker, thank you.